We maybe have a whole Santa
maybe a Santa
cinematic universe, an SCU, if you will.
Ooh.
But
SVU.
Oh my gosh. That's who should have been called after he killed Santa, because he does kill Santa.
This guy has no clothes on.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Popcorn Bucket List. And when it comes to decorating for Christmas early, usually I'm against that, but if can't beat them, join them. Yeah, there we go. That's my contribution. No, I got a snowy thing over there.
Oh yeah, Hateful Eight, great Christmas movie.
Star Wars sometimes comes out in Christmas, not recently, but
I think the canon ones did. Yeah.
Okay, if you're gonna make that argument, first of all, I'm pretty sure the original trilogy did not come out in December, and the ones you claim are not canon did. So
yeah, and actually going off of that, I was really wondering why Disney was releasing Wicked so early and not waiting for a Christmas release, because I think a Christmas release would be huge for that movie. Until I saw that's when Mufasa comes out. So that's why they didn't do it.
And they got to deal with Sonic 3 at this point too. So
yeah,
I guess that kind of makes sense. But we'll obviously talk a little bit more about Wicked in the near future for sure.
Yeah.
But today, like I said, we're talking a little bit about Christmas. It's showing up earlier and earlier every year.
Yep.
That's not up to us. Nope. That's just how it works sometimes. But we're going to do something just a little bit different. We're going to introduce essentially a new segment. This is something I've been debating on doing for quite a while.
Debated about doing this?
Pun not intended. We're going to introduce a new segment called Die Hard Debates. This edition will be determining best cinema Santa.
All right.
Now, we could do what we usually do, the norm. We each come up with a couple examples. Oh, I love your pick. Oh, you love my pick. And it's all peaceful and cordial and all that. No. Gloves are coming off today, buddy. Gloves are coming off, and we are going to debate our favorite Santa, which one is the best. And in doing so, we're going to need you, the audience's help on this one, because obviously we can't vote for it and everything, but, if we get audience participation, then it's a little less biased.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
As long as my bribes go through. That's right. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to kind of debate our own Santas, and then we need you to comment in the YouTube video which one you think wins. Now, you can only comment up to next Tuesday noon, because we usually record these around 1, so you have until then for it to count and everything. So make sure you watch the episode a little bit earlier. Tell your friends, all that fun stuff. Here are some of the other rules that I've come up with and have not cleared with this guy, so he better like them, I guess. We have both picked what we believe is the best Santa in all of movie history. Criteria is kind of based on how we think. We have to convince the people why we think our criteria supports this Santa, why it's better.
Yep.
We will each present an opening statement, just basically saying what our Santa is and kind of what our criteria, how we got to this point.
Yep.
Then we will each give sort of examples. Maybe you come up with, remember this scene. It kind of represents this. This scene represents this. And then we will enter into rebuttal, where I can argue against your pick, you can argue against mine, and then we'll end with 1-2 minute closing argument, something like that. We'll figure that out. But,
sounds good.
There's another little twist to this, however.
Okay.
We're going to flip a coin to see who starts. I'm going to use the change I got from a gas station earlier here today. Yeah, that's a quarter. Yeah, that one works.
If you want to give me that change at the end, I'll take it for moped money.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you the choice to either you can flip it or you can call it.
What do you want to do?
I don't care.
I'm going to call it.
You're going to call it? All right. I'm going to do the on-the-table spin thing. Because I don't trust...
I need to wait?
Because I don't trust myself hitting the... and it bouncing back and hitting me in the eye or something like that or whatever. So,
all right.
When I start spinning it, you can call it, all right?
Heads.
That was not a great... Yeah, I want to... I'm going to move the mic so I can actually...
Oh, let's make it official. Heads.
The call is heads. It is heads. All right. So, you get first essentially,
I choose to go second.
That was not part of my plan, but I'm going to take you on that.
All right.
Why? Because I go first, I can pick which Santa I want.
Yep.
And then
I'm pretty confident you're not going to take the one.
But here's the thing. I'm pretty sure I know which one you have picked, so I could just do an audible and pick that and take that away from you.
Try it. Go for it.
Because I'm pretty sure I know the one you might be going for.
Did you hear me say the name earlier?
No, I just know you.
Oh.
So maybe I'll go that strategy.
Actually, yeah, you probably
so if I
know,
then
though.
take your Santa, you have to come up with a new argument for something totally different here.
Well, I may or may
if
not
I'm right.
have made arguments for two of them.
And that would be very forward thinking of you.
And that's what I've done.
And you know what? I am going to pull an audible here, essentially. I am going to go with the Santa from Violent Night, played by David Harbour, because I was pretty sure that's what you were going to go with.
That's what I was going to go with.
So now
I thought you were going to go with Tim Allen.
Oh, I definitely was going to go for Tim Allen.
Oh, really?
That was not my first pick, no.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
But now that you've given me this option, I didn't really like my pick either. So I'm going to steal yours, and now I'm going to make an argument for this. All right. So, Santa, when you think of Santa, you think of someone who is very helpful, and you think of someone who delivers presents. What is the best present you can give to a family? The present of saving their life. And that is what this Santa does here, people. He is, he's a little not as holly jolly, but he gets there back to it at a certain point for sure. And, he's delivering the presents. That's what Santa does. He's got the magic. Now he's got the action to it as well. So he's going to save Christmas, not metaphorically, not by bringing songs to the town, but by beating bad guys, Marvel style. So I am now officially making that my Santa pick. Your move, Buster.
That really cuts deep because I thought for sure I was going to have to pick that one. All right. Well, I'm going to go the cheesy, campy family orientation or route then. I'm going to go with Tim Allen Santa Claus from Santa Claus Uno Dos Tres. Okay. When I think of Santa Claus, I think jolly. I think laughter. I think bringing presents to kids. And I also think of 90s nostalgia because that's when a lot of my youth was in the 90s. And the big red man, even with the beard, he is my Santa Claus. He's the ideal Santa Claus in the cinematic universe. So that's who I'm going with. I'll let you present your points and I'll present mine.
All right, I'm just gonna.
I can't believe you actually did that. That's great.
I can't believe you gave it to me.
Good for you.
You can only blame yourself, buddy.
I thought you were for sure gonna say Tim Allen. That's what I thought. That you were like you're gonna say Tim Allen.
No.
So then I was like,
I'm gonna come up with a whole bunch. When we get to rebuttal, I'm gonna come up with a whole bunch of reasons why I didn't to argue against you. So, all right. So yeah, the David Harbour Santa. Like I said, there's a little bit more nostalgia and a little bit more lore actually added to the Santa that is a little bit, I don't know if I want to call it historically accurate because it is Santa Claus. It's a mythical character.
He's real.
I'm sorry, kids are watching. Yeah, that's right. We already ruined Santa with that Saint Nick film we did a couple years ago,
true.
so we probably shouldn't do that again.
True, we did.
I should have picked that as my favorite
That would've
Santa.
been
The
good.
Santa you played in Saint Nick. That would have been hilarious.
That would have been really good.
Ah, dang. Next time. All right, so yeah. So like I said, there's a lot more lore to the Santa. He's been around for forever, and he shows it, all right? He could quit the game here, I think, but he powers through it. He doesn't do it necessarily with a smile on his face, which is a big thing of Santa, but he powers through it, and that is motivational. It's inspirational, and then when he decides, hey, there's a bunch of these bad guys invading this family, I'm going to go above and beyond. He could have jumped on that reindeer, on his sleigh, had Dasher, Dancer, all them start flying away. Yeah. Not my problem. I deliver the presents. I leave. I'm incognito. No, he steps up and he saves that family in the most violent way possible. But you could argue the most effective way possible by doing that. So therefore, he is the best Santa because not only did he bring the cheer of presents and toys, he brings the cheer of, guess what? You get to spend New Year's with your family this year, kid. That was up in the air there for a little bit, but not because of Santa. Yeah, you're back. It's back to it, back to business here. So, I'm gonna let you go with your.
All right, so
Mr. Tim Allen, he was arrested for drug possession.
Yeah. Mr. Conservative Man Tim Allen. Yeah. Yeah, that was actually at the Minneapolis airport. That was in our state.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I always heard the story. I never remember what airport it was.
Yeah. Funny. But no, it's funny because I actually did way more thinking of, because I thought for sure I was going to do A Violent Night. But all right, let's go with the film. In this film, you see a struggling Tim Allen. I think he's had divorces, or maybe had divorce, or I know they play a part in some of the movies.
I think he's had one divorce.
At this point, he's had one divorce, yeah. And the whole idea of becoming something that you're not, a.k.a. him becoming a dad and him becoming Santa Claus, and then really because at first he's both reluctant for both of them. Not in all cases, but some cases, it's harder for those step parents to. It's not your own kid at right away, but then as the movie goes on, he loves being Santa Claus. He really enjoys it at the end. He thinks it's so powerful and great, and that's just drawing a line for the same thing with his kid. So I don't know. It's a great. I don't want to see my Santa Claus killing people. I don't want to see my Santa Claus being an old Norse Viking. I don't. Actually, I do. I love seeing that.
I was gonna say
that's what I want to see in every person.
I won't hold. I was literally about to counter that, but I won't hold that against you because I did steal that bit.
Yeah.
So strike that from the record. That from the record.
So if you're looking for a traditional Santa Claus, this is the top Santa Claus, hands down. Hands down.
Remind me again, what is the first scene of him being Santa Claus? Oh, that's right. It's him killing Santa.
Santa fell off the roof. He slipped. It wasn't his fault.
This isn't Santa's first time on the roof. You don't think he should have cleats on those boots?
And especially, he shouldn't have just taken his clothes.
Yeah.
Because I think that was part of it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I do when I first come across a dead body that I'm partially responsible for, is I strip him of his clothes. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we all do, I think. Yeah. So, first of all, he's only Santa because he killed to become Santa. Second of all, he has to be convinced pretty much that entire movie that, oh, well, you're Santa because now you're contractually obligated to be Santa now.
Yep.
Third of all,
have to do this.
Third of all, you were talking about how he's in a little bit of the dumps right now. His career is great. That's part of the point, is he put his career over his family. His career is great. He has to abandon that career. He was happy in his big office job. Now he's got to hang out with all these elves all day. Yeah. Whatever, man.
I did read a conspiracy theory that because they have a kid at the end of the third one. They have a kid. They name it Buddy. Mm-hmm. And it's like,
that was Buddy the Elf?
Yeah, is that related
at all? I also was reading, because when I was debating Santas, there's that Christmas with the Cranks movie, another Tim Allen one, that has a Santa that is a real-life Santa. People were thinking that was technically a prequel to this as well. Okay. I don't really know if the timeline works that well, but we maybe have a whole Santa
maybe a Santa
cinematic universe, an SCU, if you will. But
SVU.
Oh, my gosh. That's who should have been called after he killed Santa, because he does kill Santa.
This guy has no clothes on.
Yeah. Where's his coat, man? I don't know. We showed up here, the body was like this as he's wearing the coat. I don't know. He's like this when we found it. Yeah. But so he has to be forced to be Santa. There's all these weird rules with being Santa. Even in the second one, you're forced contractually obligated to get married. What job out there also does that? None, because it's stupid.
True.
That's where I'm gonna leave that. Now try to rebut my guy who saves lives.
It's hard to rebut. I want to, but I love it. I love the even though they don't really go into the mythology behind him very much. The with your Kris Kringle with the Viking and killing people, they don't get into it. That maybe I wish they would have shown done a little more. I would love to see a Christmas movie of Santa early years. See how it became. And there
was an early years horror movie, Santa. It was called Terrifier 3.
Ooh, great movie.
Not so much, no, but whatever.
Yeah, that's about all I got. Other than that, it's not it's not a happy Santa movie.
It is, because that family gets to spend next Christmas next year. Whereas that kid was robbed of a father in the Tim Allen, because he's got to work Christmas every year.
See, I would say this one, Violent Night is the Christopher Nolan Batmans to.
No, it's the Zack Snyder's version of Santa.
I'll take that, too.
There's more blood in that.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's hard to rebut because I really like it.
Well, let's see if you can stick the landing then. Let's do some closing statements here. I'll start us off, give you a little bit of time here to kind of think about it. I'll maybe ramble a little
first?
bit.
I already know mine.
Oh, well, if you want to go first, you can go first. Yeah, sure.
All right, everybody, close your eyes. I want you to remember you're 8 years old. It's Christmas morning. You wake up. You smell cinnamon gingerbread cookies. You smell the fire burning in the roast or in the downstairs. You go downstairs. You wake up. You go downstairs and there's presents everywhere. The cookies have a couple bites on them. The milk is half drank, and you think, who was this? And what pops in your head? Santa was here. And what do you think? You think Tim Allen in a Santa suit. That's what you think. You don't think of a drunk David Harbour.
He's not drunk. He's not drunk.
He is drunk in the movie.
He's not. I'm going to need you to present some facts on that one.
You ain't driving, are you?
I steer a little, but the reindeer do most of the work.
But you don't think of a Santa, scraggly, gross beard, covered in blood, saying, "I saved your life. Merry Christmas, kids." You think of Tim Allen. Boom.
All right. In that case,
you can open your eyes now.
For my closing, I tell you what, keep your eyes closed here. Now into my fantasy. So now you're no longer a kid. You're an adult now. Things suck, and now you're gonna go to a Christmas movie where it's all cheesy and everything. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's Happy Holidays." No, it's not Happy Holidays. You need some violent action in your life to help you release some of that tension, and that's what Violent Night was right there, my friend. Yep. So yeah, you can leave all the childish innocence back where it belongs, back in your childhood. I'm talking about the here and now. This movie is for adults, and it's with Santa, and he's awesome, and he saves lives.
All right. Well, I think we all know who the real winner is.
The real winner is we should have picked your Santa from our short film.
Yes.
That's what we should
That's what we should have. Missed opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, well, better luck next time. All right. So there you have it. There's our very first go at this segment. Once again, the only way we could decide this is if you vote in the comment section before Tuesday at noon after this video comes out. Which of our two Santas do you think was the better one? Had the better arguments, all that sort of stuff. Also, actually, now that I kind of think of this, if you out there have a movie-themed argument with you and a family member, coworker, friend, or whatever that you need help solving, let us know. And if we think it's worthy of a die-hard debate, we'll bring you on here. We'll do this Judge Judy style. We'll judge it or something like that. I don't know. I'll be Judge Judy. You be the bailiff. That kind of stands there stoically or something.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. But yeah, just let us know. But first of all, vote for this one. Who you think won the argument? This one may be the most difficult one for me here. The number 6 seed, Footloose, versus the number 11 seed, Karate Kid. Who's voting Footloose? Who's voting Karate Kid? I thought I was going to have to fight for that one. Nope. I thought for sure I was going to have to fight for that one. I had like a whole argument ready to go.
Sorry,
he just crane kicked Footloose out of here. No more dancing. I'm going to get heat from my mom on that one. And with that, let's take a deep breath. I'm a little. Whew.
Yeah.
I was going. I was going to have a much more peaceful argument until you open it up for me to take it from you.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
That's like that's like you winning the coin toss, saying you're going to kick off, and then onside kick it to me without any resistance. You've automatically put me on the 50.
Yeah, that was.
It's our first go. It's our first go.
Yeah, I was so confident you were gonna take somebody else because there was a bunch.
And
of
I was so confident you were gonna go with the route you were.
See, you went with a very offense. I was very defensive. And you were very offensive.
Can I tell you who my original pick was gonna be though? Yeah. It was gonna be the Marty Santa from Christmas with the Cranks. Okay. Because I was gonna go this whole route of like, oh, part of Christmas is, helping out those in need, and like the Marty like pretends to be like a homeless guy most of the time, and then he stops the robber. Be like, oh, see, and that's essentially what my argument was for David Harbour, is like he saves the family.
Yeah.
In this case, he stops the robber, so it was very similar. So
yeah, makes sense.
All right, yeah, okay, so yeah, take a deep breath. We're still friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still friends. Yeah.
I know next time how I should prepare.
Yeah.
Now I got it. Now I get
This is the advantage of when you make up the rules.
Yeah.
Although usually when we do nerd bracket and I come up with the rules, it usually bites me in the butt. So this is karma for me as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, let's move on to the next segment here, the weekly preview. Talk about all the big premieres coming out this weekend. Not a lot.
No.
This is one of those weekends. There's not a lot, but it's a big movie. So it kind of scares all the little fishes away.
Yeah, yeah.
This is the great white shark here. But we do have a couple to talk about here. Wednesday, November 13th, so already out by the time this episode comes out here, Amelia Perez coming straight to Netflix. This movie stars Zoe Saldana as, I believe she's a lawyer, but she gets caught up in we'll call it an interesting legal situation here.
Yeah.
Basically, a guy who is running a cartel, he doesn't want to do the cartel life anymore. Wants to go off the grid. And also, he essentially wants to become a transgender. He wants to transition to be a woman, not just as a part to kind of go in the witness protection program, but because this is what he's always wanted, I suppose.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of Zoe Saldana's part, as I believe she's a lawyer in this. Although the trailer doesn't really show her being a lawyer.
You got way more than I got out of the trailer.
I have to. There's a website I use. It's got summaries too that help me out here a little bit. Because the trailer doesn't show a lot.
Except Selena Gomez is in this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that was her. I watched the whole trailer and then said at the end, and I was like...
Yeah, this was during her blonde short phase, I guess. She's gone out.
You could show me a picture of Selena Gomez, and...
You just weren't raised right because you didn't watch Wizard of Waverly Place then, I guess.
It's too old.
Yeah, you just weren't... you missed that. I'm sorry.
It's for babies.
Now we're going to have a real fight. And now I'm going to have to fight you. Anyway, so yeah. Also another little interesting plot twist with this movie. It's a musical.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I saw that.
It's a musical, which the trailer does not go into.
There's
until
no
the
music
last
at all.
30 seconds.
Yeah. And it's not like music. It's almost like EDM dancing.
Joker 2 showed off more of a musical in its trailers.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
This, I will say, as far as movies go for swinging for the fences, this is the swingingest, for the most fenciest movie I've seen in a while, I feel like.
Yeah.
But it does look pretty good. You do have some pretty good actors here, I feel like. What are you distracted by?
I was trying to figure out who that character was. The one next to Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, that's the Antonio Banderas guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, and then I was trying to read him and I couldn't. Sorry, I was distracted. Because at first I was like, that's not...
Shiny thing. Go get it.
I was like, is that William Dafoe? No, it's not. And then I was like, is that Johnny Knoxville? No.
You went from Dafoe to Knoxville?
Yeah.
For Antonio... Well, okay.
From way back here.
I get Dafoe. I don't get Knoxville.
Oh, yeah.
I can see Dafoe. I don't know if I can see Knoxville.
You can always see Dafoe.
Yeah, Defoe is everywhere.
He's the man.
He's standing right behind you right now, I think. Oh, no, that's just me hallucinating. I'm sorry. Anyways.
All right.
Yeah, so like I said, an interesting premise. I think a very gutsy premise, but I do hope this will be a good one.
I hope so.
It'll be good to see Zoe Saldana not in green makeup as an alien for once.
Yeah.
So that'll be good for her, I think, too. So, or blue makeup because she's an Avatar too. It'll be good to see her not as an alien.
Yeah.
And not in space.
Because
there's Star Trek as well.
As a human.
Yeah, as just a human. Plot twist, she ends up being an alien lawyer.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
All right. I think I saw her eyes go sideways with
That's where the musical aspect comes into it. But the big ticket item here this weekend, Red 1. Like I said, talking about Santa Claus here earlier, this is the reason why. You got J.K. Simmons playing Santa Claus, a.k.a. Red 1. Well, unfortunately, he's kidnapped before Christmas. Well, we can't have that. Santa's got to be delivering those presents, man.
Yeah.
So Dwayne Johnson, who plays his bodyguard, by the way, not a great bodyguard if Santa's going to kidnap,
jacked,
by the way.
Too.
Yeah.
Santa's yoked.
Oh, yeah, Jake, yeah.
Yeah.
He's been jacked for a while now.
Yeah.
I find it funny. He got jacked for his role as Commissioner Gordon in Justice League. He wears like 3 layers and a trench coat that whole movie. I just remember seeing behind the scenes photos of him like working out, like getting ready for that role. and he's in like 2.5 scenes, and 3 and all of them he's like in full like you can't see anything. And I'm like, dude,
that's funny.
No, man, why you gotta do JK like that? Have him in have Commissioner Gordon in a fight scene.
Maybe there was a deleted scene that didn't make it in, and it's just him bare knuckle.
Pretty sure I saw the extended cut, and I don't think. He's just bare knuckling Bane.
Sweet,
that would be awesome. At least that Snyder cut. Anyways, all right, we're getting off topic here. So Christmas movie, but a little bit more actiony. Dwayne Johnson's a bodyguard. He has to track him down. Well, then they recruit Chris Evans' character, who's considered to be one of the best bounty hunters in the world. Is that what they call him in this? I guess I never saw
Jack Frost.
Well, I guess that would make sense.
And then I'm pretty sure when they get to that bar, there's going to be all kinds of Halloween or what do you even call those?
The snowmen?
No, because like I'm pretty sure I saw one where they had a glowing jack-o'-lantern. I'm pretty sure that's going to be Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, you're talking about all the other mythical creatures that are part of that mythos.
I think there's going to be I think it's going to be filled to the brim. Yes, I think it's going to be.
So you think it's going to be kind of like Tim Allen's, where they're like kind of that convening. There's all those mythical creatures, but they're going to be a little bit more actiony or something like that. There's going to be some sort of network of headless horsemen that are like bounty hunters or something like that too.
I think it's going to be.
I could see that
because then I think Krampus is in there. That would be my guess who that is, and it's like there's going to be all kinds of things. Yeah,
we talked about earlier with the lore behind Christmas and Santa Claus and all that, and movies have dipped their toes. Arguably, the Tim Allen one has done the most dipping of the toe of like bringing in, you have the Sandman and Father Time and Mother Nature and all that. But Violent Night didn't really go too much into all of that.
No, it just showed him being an awesome Viking killing people.
Yeah.
Great. That's all I want. That's all I need.
And maybe we'll get that here with J.K. Simmons too. I bet you there's gonna be an action scene at the end there where they're breaking him out and he's like, you're not I'm gonna help you out with this.
Yeah.
You're not doing this alone here. But, you got a lot of action here. You got mystical creatures and all that. I don't know. I think this will be pretty good.
I do too. It's got a lot of big names, and it's got a lot of money to it. So
I will say, initially, I was very confused because you have that other Dwayne Johnson movie that's like Red Notice that came out to Netflix.
Yeah.
And at first, I thought I heard this one was coming out to Netflix. I'm like, how many of these movies?
How many Red movies have come out?
Does he just have a running bet with Zac Efron of how many Red movies he can do or something like that? I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the Baywatch 2 is Baywatch Red Blood in the Water or something like that. I don't know. But, I don't know. I think it's going to be good. And like you said, a lot of money thrown at it. And, I think we're going to see Dwayne Johnson back in a $1 billion movie. He had kind of a streak there for a little bit.
Think so? $1 billion movie?
I think so. I think so because, again, there's nothing coming out this weekend. Mm-hmm. So it's going to take the weekend pretty handedly. And B, because I think it will carry over into these next few weeks a little bit and then maybe have a resurgence in the early part of December when there isn't a lot.
As long as it's still available.
It'll stick around till Christmas.
Yeah.
The problem is there's going to be some bigger stuff around Christmas that's going to kind of compete it.
Sure.
But I think it's going to do great this weekend. It's going to do fine the next few weeks, and they're going to hold out. And then the early December when it's kind of a dead zone again, it's going to have a little bit of resurgence.
All right.
So, plus when it goes international, you never know what's going to happen then.
That's true.
Anything else we want to say about this one here?
I'm good.
All right, then. Cool. Then let's move on to some number one recommends here. We're going to do something a little bit different here as well. A friend of the show, Matt Callahan of Minnesota Sports, he messaged me. He's like, hey, man, I got to recommend something here, and I need you to tell it to the masses. And I'm like, let me know. What do you got? He has finished the Penguin Season 1. I've not finished it yet, but everything I've seen, I love. He has finished it, gave it 10 out of 10 rave review. And that is all I've heard from everyone. That this show is fantastic.
And now that it's finally out, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
Hopefully not for 2 weeks.
And I will say I'm glad this show is doing good because I do think the Penguin is a very underrated Batman villain character. He's that perfect mixture of cartoonish villain with a crazy name / mobster.
Yeah.
You know, you have the Falcones and the Maronis as like mobsters, but you have like the Joker, but he doesn't really care about the mobster game. He's just chaos. Yeah. Penguin is that happy medium. And this is why throughout all the comics, movies, TV shows, he sticks around. Mm-hmm. The Falcones, they rise and fall. Joker, he sometimes kills off. the Penguin always finds a way out and always figures out a way to rise to the top again.
Penguins
and
find a way.
I respect that, and I love that the show is doing that here.
Yeah.
So
I loved him, even though he was only in it for a few minutes in the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it, and I'm so excited for this show. But I said I'm not going to watch it till it's all out because it's easier if I can get a day and just binge it all, or 2 days. So that's what's going to happen.
All right, so talk about a little bit what you are recommending here this week.
My recommendation, little off the cuff, you might say, I went to watch Conclave. Absolutely phenomenal acting. Stanley Tucci, Jonathan Lithgow, and Lord Voldemort. Ralph Fiennes, right?
Yep.
So good. It was kind of interesting because I was anticipating this was going to be I thought this was an R-rated movie. It's PG. And there's like maybe a couple of swear words. Like there's not really any like they might hint at some inappropriate things, but nothing's shown. It's about how they choose a pope. And obviously it's based on a book, and not based on a real pope that got chosen. But the twists and turns in here were so good. Ralph Fiennes is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed this film. It is a slow burn. It's kind of slow, but the second half kind of picks up once the score, the music in it just keeps you on the edge of your seat. There's a couple of good jokes in there. But yeah, I would just, if you're Catholic, I'd go watch it. But if you're anybody that wants to understand the process of picking a pope and kind of what all entails, because we always know when the last pope died, they do the smoke, and it's like, oh, okay, interesting. No idea what else is going on, but this is like, oh, this is actually interesting. This is actually really good. I really liked it. And they have some like thought-provoking and spiritual wrestling questions, which are good. And yeah, it makes those the Cardinals and the popes and that stuff in a very digestible, and you look at them more as like you look at the Pope as more of a human than some mass spiritual leader figure. It was really good. I really liked it.
Well, that's going to do it for us here on this episode of Popcorn Bucket List. Once again, be sure to comment below who you think, based on our arguments, who was right in this very first Die Hard debate. Also, I feel like elephant in the room, the reason why we called it Die Hard debate isn't have anything to do with it being a Christmas movie and this being a Christmas-themed thing. I just thought it sounded cool.
It does sound cool.
So just so you know, if we do more of these, we're not going to come up like a different movie. It'll always be Die Hard debates. That's the name of the segment. So
I like it.
Just want to put that out there. But yeah, also, once again, mentioning Minnesota sports, the NFL football season, we're like halfway through already, something like that.
Yep.
So if you want to catch a couple of opinions from a couple of true Minnesotans talking about Minnesota sports, not any suits over in New York, not giving the Vikings their due or anything like that. You want to hear what an actual Minnesotans want to talk about actual Minnesota sports, check them out every week, Wednesday night, 7 p.m., Minnesota Sports Live. And for myself, Ryan, and Carter, I'd like to thank you so much for watching, and we will see you at the movies.